Hello everybody and welcome back to My Journey, the series in which I take you along my path to gathering every Trackmania Track of the Day author medal. Starting us out in volume number 22 today, and with my 500th author medal, we have the track Marzipan, which was made by Rogue Dawn, and this was the track of the day on March 17th of 2022. Marzipan is a dirt track that has an author medal time of 45.933 seconds, and about 900 other players were also able to achieve that medal. It took me 15 minutes to get this one, finishing with a time of 45.965 seconds. I found the large majority of this one to be very well made. However, there was one jump on this one that will be upcoming that I seemingly could never make. Didn't matter what my approach was, if I air braked or didn't air brake, the landing always seemed a little bit short, a little bit bumpy. I feel like that could have been cleaned up a little bit, but overall I found this to be a very well made track. My 501st author medal came on the track Adam's Race, which was made by Ohio JG, and this was another track from 2022, this one releasing on May 13th. Adam's Race is a rather short track and a rather easy one as well, as over 2,700 players have the author medal on this track. I got it quite quickly, taking just 9 minutes, finishing with a time of 25.5 seconds. In my opinion, I think this track was fine for what it was, but I also think it is a bit too short for a track of the day. My 502nd author medal came on the track Canyon Nascar, which was made by Priez, and this was the track of the day on February 5th of 2021. Like the name would suggest here, Canyon Nascar is a NASCAR track, and in comparison to the last one, this one is quite long, with the author medal time here coming in at 1 minute and 32.1 seconds, and only about 1,300 players have this author medal, which is quite surprising to me, as I got it quite quickly, only taking 4 minutes, finishing with my time of 1 minute and 30.93 seconds. So yeah, only about 1,300 players with this author medal here. Very surprising. It does play much easier than that. I even thought I had a very sloppy run here and still beat it by over a second. So I'm not sure why that is. Maybe people just avoided NASCAR. Maybe people avoided it because it is such a long track. But either way, much easier than the amount of players here would suggest. As far as the track itself goes, it's NASCAR. For me personally, I always say, NASCAR is not a style for me. I find it extremely boring. I think that goes for most of the community as well, in all honesty. As you can tell in track of the day trends, NASCAR has not really been prevalent since 2021. I'd say even by like the halfway point of 2021, NASCAR was pretty much a dead style for the large majority of the player base. So again, this track is fine for what it is, but NASCAR is just not for me. My 503rd author medal came on the track Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, which was made by Aklavukizis, and this was the track of the day on March 7th of 2022. Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory is a mixed track and another longer one as well, with this one coming in with an author medal time of 55.406 seconds, and about 1,200 players have also achieved that author medal. This one took me a little while to get, taking 26 minutes, finally finishing with my time of 54.632 seconds. I don't want to be too harsh on this one, or I really don't want to be harsh on any track in general, but I feel like this track was chosen for a scenery of the day and on the name alone, because in my opinion, this track did not drive well. There was a whole lot of nothing in between a lot of bad sections, especially inside the factory. There was not a lot of flow to the track. It felt extremely awkward and was just not a great drive. My 504th author medal came on the track Paranoid, which was made by Ego, and this was the track of the day on August 23rd of 2024. Paranoid is a plastic and tech track that has an author medal time of 49.488 seconds, and about 1,500 players have achieved the author medal on this one. It took me just 15 minutes to drive it, finishing with my time of 49.295 seconds. As far as I'm aware, this was Ego's first ever track of the day creation, so with that, they made an excellent track, and it also is my favorite one from today's video. And if you know me, I really don't like tech all that much. It's one of my least favorite styles, but something about plastic and tech together has always worked for me, and it is by far my favorite form of tech. So this was a well-made and excellent track. Highly recommend checking this one out. Next up, with my 505th author medal, we have the track Jack of All Trades, which was made by Evil Burrito, and this was the track of the day on August 15th of 2024. Like the name would imply on this one, Jack of All Trades is a mixed track, and the author medal time on this one comes in at 46.425 seconds, and about 900 other players were also able to achieve this one. It took me just 16 minutes to get it, finishing with a time of 46.225 seconds. I thought this was yet another very good track here, though I could have done without the ice section on this one, but I get it, Jack of all trades, they wanted to have every surface, but this not only goes for this track, but every other track that has like one ice section in it. They generally feel like the most important section on the track is any minor mistake during an ice section is going to ruin your entire run. My 506th author medal came on the track Get a Grip, which was made by Shorty, and this was yet another recent track of the day, this one releasing on August 26th of 2024. Get a Grip is a dirt track that has an author medal time of 43.478 seconds, and about 800 players have achieved this author medal as well. It took me 13 minutes to drive this one, finishing with a time of 43.475 seconds. I thought this was a fine track, but it's certainly not my favorite. The large majority of this track, they really want you to no-slide everything, and no-sliding is probably my least favorite mechanic in the entire game to try and perform. Luckily, for the most part, you can pretty much ignore that and just drive the track normally, and you can still get the author medal there. So again, it's a fine track, but nothing spectacular. My 507th author medal came on the track Xanadu, which was made by B Snipes, and this was the track of the day on August 27th of 2024. Xanadu is a speed fun track that has an author medal time of 45.312 seconds, and over 1,500 players were also able to achieve this one. Got it quite quickly as well, taking just 11 minutes, finishing with a time of 45.193 seconds. This was a good track, but it did have one problem with it, which is hard to fault, so you know, B Snipes too much. I believe this was their first ever track of the day, but the engine off section on this one, it's just way too important. You know, if you have low speed, you're already punished with that low speed, but with the engine off section and how long that engine off section is, that low speed is punished even longer, and the section is just way too important compared to everything else. My 508th author medal came on the track Aerii, which was made by Nightwolf, and this was the track of the day on July 21st of 2021. Aerii is a mixed track that has an author medal time of 44.93 seconds, and over 2,000 players have achieved this one, so it's going to be on the easier side there, and I got it quite quickly as well, taking just 6 minutes, finishing with a time of 44.564 seconds. This was really not that great of a track. You even saw me in the beginning do a bug slide because otherwise that turn was just absolute gear hell. Probably wasn't the right decision, but hey, I still went for it anyway, and I still got the author medal, so what does it matter? But yeah, the track really had no flow. The gears were a mess over the entirety of it. Just not a great track. My 509th and final author medal for today's video came on the track Frozen River, which was made by Marshadow, and this was the track of the day on August 9th of 2022. Frozen River is an ice track and a rather long one as well, as the author medal time on this one comes in at 1 minute and 9.974 seconds, and over 2,100 players have the author medal here, so it is a bit on the easier side, though it did take me 15 minutes to drive this one, finishing with a time of 1 minute and 5.834 seconds. I really wish I could have ended off today on a better note, but unfortunately that will not be the case, as this was a very bad track and one that probably should have never been chosen for a track of the day. Really just does not work at all. It feels like they just put down the ice, they put down the hills, and hope the route would work, which it absolutely doesn't. And add into that fact, you know, basically every turn is kind of completely blind, leaving you guessing everywhere, which for an ice track is kind of a disaster. You're going to be constantly oversliding and undersliding. You're going to be gearing up and gearing down everywhere, and it just does not work. But with that, we will conclude volume number 22 here today. If you're interested in driving any of the tracks you saw, there will be links in the description to all of them, and you can also find them in my in-game club called Club Teuty. Also, if you're interested in any specific author medal I may have driven in the past and what video it's in, there will be a link to that in the description as well. And finally, if you have not done so already, please like the video and subscribe, and I hope to see you all here back soon with volume 23.